Steelers Nation, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel where we break down all the latest and biggest news about our beloved black and gold. As always, our Steelers are working to get better every single day, making moves that we hope will bring us back to championship football. Because let's be honest, we deserve it. And if you thought the offseason was going to be quiet, think again. The Steelers are shaking up the NFL right now, and today's story, it's one of the craziest we've seen in a while. So before we dive deep, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss breaking Steelers news like this. So here it is, Steelers Nation. DK Metcalf is now a Pittsburgh Steeler. Yes, you heard me right. One of the most explosive, dominant wide receivers in the game is officially wearing black and gold. Let that sink in for a minute. DK Metcalf, one of the biggest offensive weapons in the league, is officially on our roster. When news broke that the Steelers landed Metcalf, I think it's safe to say we were all stunned, in the best way possible. But while Steelers fans were celebrating, former quarterback Ben Roethlisberger jumped in to throw a little cold water on the party. Because as exciting as Metcalf's arrival is, Big Ben raised a very real question that could dramatically shift our offense moving forward. What happens now to George Pickens? On a recent appearance on the Pat McAfee show, Roethlisberger gave us some insight that really got people talking. He said, "You can see the blue skies. That's because we got a crazy offense in Pittsburgh. We don't see these blue skies too often, but we get wins and new signings like the Steelers are making moves. It's a special day in Pittsburgh. I was blown away when I saw that news. But will George still be here? That's going to be the interesting thing. Are they going to try and move him now? Guys have been talking about the Steelers needing a number 2 receiver. Well, now they got 2 ones. I mean, is it going to stay that way? Steelers Nation? Those are some heavy words from Big Ben. He's basically questioning if Pickens and Metcalf can both exist together in this offense. And honestly, it's a fair question because when you think about it, DK Metcalf is a WR1, a superstar. George Pickens? A guy who sees himself as a WR1 and has the talent to be one. And now, they're both on the same team? How is that going to work? Let's talk about what this pairing could look like, if it actually works out. Imagine this: 2 physical, fast, high-point receivers on the field at the same time. How do you defend that? You've got Metcalf stretching the field vertically and Pickens making impossible catches on the sideline. It could be a matchup nightmare for defenses, in theory. But the reality? Pickens has already shown frustration when he doesn't get enough targets. Remember last season? The sideline antics, the outbursts? Now you're telling him to share the spotlight and possibly become a number 2 receiver behind Metcalf? That's a tough pill to swallow, and as much as we love Pickens, he wants to be the guy. You can see it every time he takes the field, so can he accept sharing the WR1 role, or will this lead to tension? Now here's where the real debate begins, and I want to hear from you on this, Steelers Nation. Because if Ben Roethlisberger is asking whether Pickens will even be here, that means people inside the league are asking the same thing. And think about this. Pickens is on a rookie deal. Cheap, valuable, and with 2 years left. If the Steelers want to stack draft picks or fill other holes, Pickens is a premium trade asset. Teams like the Panthers, Patriots, or Bears, all in desperate need of a WR1, could pay a fortune to get him. So could the Steelers flip Pickens for a top draft pick, maybe even a first-rounder, and roll with Metcalf as the clear WR1? It's possible. It's the NFL. No player is untouchable. But that's not all, Steelers Nation. This story gets even deeper when you consider the quarterback situation, because guess what? Justin Fields is gone. He signed with the New York Jets on a 2-year, $40 million deal with $30 million guaranteed. So now the quarterback we thought might throw to Pickens and Metcalf? Out the door. Fields' departure adds another layer of uncertainty to this offense. Now it looks like Russell Wilson is QB1, but we still don't know who's throwing the ball long-term. And with 2 alpha receivers like Pickens and Metcalf, you better have a quarterback who can keep everyone happy. Steelers Nation. This might catch some of you off guard, but we've got real reports out now saying the Tennessee Titans are officially among the teams interested in signing Russell Wilson. Yeah, the same Russell Wilson that we just brought in not that long ago. The same Russell Wilson that we thought could be our starting quarterback for 2025, maybe even beyond. Now it looks like his time in Pittsburgh might be shorter than anyone expected. According to NFL insider Connor Hughes, the Titans are not just casually watching the market. They're actively interested in bringing Wilson to Nashville. And that raises huge questions for the Steelers' offense and for the team's plans at quarterback. So let's break this all down. First, let's rewind the clock for a second and remember how we got here. Russell Wilson, 36 years old, a 9-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion, we all know the pedigree. Drafted by the Seahawks back in 2012. In the third round, Wilson went from being an underdog to one of the most dangerous quarterbacks in the NFL. But fast forward to 2022, and Wilson gets traded to the Denver Broncos in a blockbuster deal. Denver handed him a massive 5-year, $245 million extension with a $165 million guaranteed. Huge money, right? Unfortunately for Wilson and Denver, that deal turned out to be a disaster. His performance didn't match expectations, and after 2 tough years, the Broncos released him, eating a record-breaking $85 million dead cap hit. Pittsburgh swooped in and signed him to a 1-year deal for the veteran minimum, giving Wilson a chance to prove he still had something left in the tank. And to be fair, Wilson had some moments in 2024. In 11 games for the Steelers, he completed nearly 64% of his passes for 2,182 yards, 16 touchdowns, and only 5 interceptions. He also added some mobility, rushing 43 times for 155 yards and 2 more touchdowns. Not elite numbers, but definitely a steady hand compared to what we've seen from this offense at times in recent years. But was it enough? Was it enough for Pittsburgh to commit to Wilson as the guy moving forward? Well, if the Titans' interest is any indication, maybe the Steelers aren't so sure. So let's ask this. Why would Tennessee want Wilson? The Titans are in a weird spot. They've got Will Levis, but he's young, still developing, and they've got a brand new coaching staff that might not be sold on him yet. Adding a veteran, like Wilson, would give them a bridge QB, someone who's been there, done that, and can stabilize an offense while a younger quarterback learns. But if Tennessee is serious about bringing him in, that would mean Wilson leaving Pittsburgh after just 1 year. And that would throw the Steelers' plans into chaos. So what does this mean for us, Steelers Nation? If Wilson leaves, who's playing quarterback in 2025? So let's recap. DK Metcalf joins the Steelers. Massive move. George Pickens' future now up in the air. Justin Fields gone to the Jets. Russell Wilson as the likely starter. But for how long? Steelers Nation. Our offense could look very different in 2025. If Pickens stays, we could have one of the most dangerous receiving duos in the NFL. If he's traded, we may be looking at a whole new offensive identity. So what do you think, Steelers Nation? Here are my questions for you today. Should the Steelers keep George Pickens and pair him with DK Metcalf? Or should they trade Pickens for high draft capital and focus on Metcalf as the star? Are you confident in Russell Wilson leading this offense, or do we still need another quarterback? Drop your answers in the comments below. I'll be reading them all and featuring some of your best takes in upcoming videos. And if you love this kind of breakdown and want to stay on top of every big Steelers move this offseason, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss out. We're going to be following every rumor, every signing, every trade, and yes, every Pickens update right here. So don't go anywhere. Here we go, Steelers, here we go. Catch you in the next one, Steelers Nation.